Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet Sobia, a young girl from a small town in Multan Road, Lahore. She lives in a 6 by 6 feet house, 8 family members, all living in the same building. Her father is barely able to make ends meet. The family, on a daily basis, struggles to put the food on the table. To top it all off, the education for this girl was never a priority. And instead, she was asked to contribute financially in whatever way or means she can. Additionally, she was married at a very early age of 15 years. And that added another dimension to her life. Taking care of her husband, meeting the expectations of the in-laws, a young girl with aspirations and dreams of her own, shattered. So much so that at one point in time, she was even considering taking her own life. Just at that point, she met a well-wisher. She introduced her to a school, a vocational school, which were teaching vocational courses. By putting a lot of effort in convincing her husband and her family, she was given the permission to join that school. That, ladies and gentlemen, changed her life completely. 12 months onward, she runs a tailor shop. She employs 5 women from the same school. She's an independent financial woman. And on top of that, she's also contributing to the family income. And she takes equal part in all the decision making in the family. Now I want you to meet Urjuman. The luck was on her side. She was born in an affluent family who could educate her well. And not only that, but her parents gave her the education and the importance of being an empowered, independent woman. As she was growing up, she realized the privileges that she had, but at the same time, she could feel the pain and the lack of opportunities of countless Sobias around her in the society. And that's why she dedicated all her life in finding opportunities for these underprivileged women and also putting education for children. She had a couple of sons who were part of a corporate world. And at that point in time, her sons were not fully understanding the drives that she had. Then one day, Urjuman passed away. And that was a time, the abyss that she left, sons finally realized the drive and the ambition she had in her life. This Urjuman actually is my mother. And me and my brother, Umar, after she passed away, we decided to do something about the women who don't get the opportunities and also children who are out on the streets. You know how they say, where there's a will, there's always a way. Even though we were busy in our corporate lives, we were lucky to find a model, a school that existed already with a similar concept that we had in our mind, but it was closed down. It was closed down because the previous owner had become old. He did not have the resources to run that anymore. And hence, it was closed for the last 15 years. So we stepped in, we restarted the whole school. We were lucky again to find the same dedicated staff to run that school again. And incidentally, we also got the same building. So it helped us with the equity that the school had for many years when it used to run. So going back to Sobia, I think what we need to realize is this story of Sobia is not unique. Just like my mother, I think we need to realize that one step, one small step, one little incremental change can make life better for the different Sobias out there. The stature of the role of our women in our society is really marginalized as being an homemaker, especially in the traditional and the rural setups. Under the patriarchal controls and mechanisms, women are not encouraged to educate themselves and are generally married at a very early age. The average Pakistani woman, especially ones settled in shanty towns, are beset with the crippling handicaps of illiteracy, constant motherhood, and poor health. So that was the concept behind choosing the three disciplines or the vocational concepts that we started our school with, which is Silai, Kadhai, Thappa, which is the block printing, and the beautician courses. And the philosophy of this is that once you learn these skills, first of all, it gives you the opportunity to become financially independent. And second, which is even more important, you can do that within the confines of your home. You don't really need to go out because it's difficult for these women to go out. And I'm very happy to report and share, it gives me great pride, that about 1,500 women that went through the courses that we taught in the last 7 years, 80% of them are actually now home-based entrepreneurs. They're either running a tailor shop or they have a beauty parlor, and most of them are doing it within their homes, and their lives have changed. Their respect in the house has changed. They have equal stature in the house. Let me move to the other issue, one of the issues that we have in our society, and it again stems from large family sizes. When you have big families, parents are generally not able to afford and put these children into schools. Where they end up on the streets. And when they are on the streets, they are vulnerable to child labor. They work in workplaces where they're exposed to firearms, explosives, chemicals, and it can be very harmful for their health and also for the environment. A lot of these children end up in the hands of the street gangs who put them either into a organized beggary or they get addicted to drugs. So the other leg of our school, which is the education part, is really to put these children into school and give them basic English, Urdu, maths, and computer and internet understanding. What that does is, it prepares them to be admitted into a primary school. So in total, right now, our school has capacity of about 100 women that we can accommodate and about 90 children that we can accommodate. And it's been running successfully, mashallah, for the last 7 years. If I talk about the ambition for the school moving forward, it's very simple. We would like these smiles that you see on the screen to continue and even spread them more. And the only way we can do that for the next maybe 50 years or 100 years is to make it self-sustainable. Now, we are not there yet, but the idea here is, and this is where we also want to work with people, collaborate with people, to really use the children or the women that are coming out, the product of our school, to get into areas where they get more successful, and eventually they treat their school as a community and they become the owners of that school in the long term. So with that, without a doubt, I think this experience or journey of Urjuman Foundation has been one thing that I'm really proud of to have been part of. And what this has really taught me is one thing, We often feel powerless in our environment, in different situations, where we really struggle to take that first step because we feel that even if we take that one step, that's not going to make any difference. But what this foundation journey has taught me is that that first step is the most important one. What we did for these women was just to provide an environment and tools to use them to become masters of their own destiny. And you've seen it in some examples that I gave. That one step was good enough. So the next time you find yourself thinking about what difference you could make, remember the effort you make or the money you donate or that 1 hour of your time you give to a charitable cause. You may think it's very insignificant, but maybe, just maybe, the person who's at the receiving end, it is just the opportunity that person needs to change the life. And with that, I would like to introduce you to the 4 Sobias that we have from our school. They're sitting with you in that corner. When you get a time, maybe in the breaks, I would invite you guys, talk to them. They are the embodiment of the concept of taking small steps and incremental changes. These girls have transformed their lives, and you can have a chat with them. Thank you.